Many congratulations. The missing piece of the puzzle. A year on from last year. How does that feel to get your hands on that trophy?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's the missing piece in the puzzle in the CV for me. I still got the UK Open and European Championships to go and the World Series finals to complete the whole collection. But like I said, if I don't achieve that, then the top three. I know there's not a physical triple crown, but the PDC would never say that's a triple crown. But for me, it's the three hardest to win. I think everyone looks at the three biggest. So to have that one now, really, really nice. There's only 4 people who've done it, so that makes it really, really special.
Saw you on stage, teary-eyed. Does that show how much this means to you? And was it a bit of redemption from last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's more about, I had those struggles in March. It felt hard work, and everything that you dedicate yourself for, it makes it worthwhile when you achieve things like this. So yeah, it's emotional, not to the point where you're going to start crying, but it's emotional because you worked so hard away from home for so long to get them trophies. It means the world.
Final, literally a game of two halves. You seem to be really struggling in that first one, but like last year, Luke came back after the break and did a number on you. This year, You came back after the break and seemed turbocharged and went to that another level.
Yeah, I think that's what I said up on the stage. I don't know if you heard, but I said, last year when I was at the break at 5-all, I was lucky to be 5-all, and then I was negative. I felt like I didn't really come out with a positive attitude and felt like I could win, whereas obviously this time I was 5-all, I felt fortunate again. I thought, well, you've got to be positive and come out and try and take the game to him, so I did. And it was a better game in the second half because we really did put on a good show in the end. But the first half felt a lot of hard work. When you only have 20 minutes after that epic game with Nathan, who I must say deserved his place in the Premier League because he put up such a great game against me there. He showed he deserves to be there. I love Nathan to bits, but after that epic game, it was hard to only have 20 minutes. So yeah, it took a bit of time to get involved in the game, but the second half was decent.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Luke, congratulations. You mentioned on stage there that Phil Taylor had given you a boost coming into the finals night. What can you tell us about that?
Nothing.
Is it words of advice or?
Yeah, but I'll keep that private between me and Phil. He just gave me confidence and was supportive of me.
That was obviously a big boost for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you got the greatest darting player in the world showing a bit of support and belief in you, then it makes you feel good. And it's always nice when someone believes in you, but when the best in the world believes in you, or was the best in the world, it feels good.
You've got that triple crown now. You're ticking off these majors one by one. What's the next big target?
I don't know. Just enjoy myself, have fun, and try and win as many as I can, really.
And how much are you looking forward to teaming up with Luke in the World Cup, and what's it going to take for anyone to stop you?
Good darts to beat us. We're going to have to play well, but we've got a lot of pressure on our shoulders, and I think that we'll thrive on it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Luke, congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Looking back at last year's final, how much of that was a motivation going into this year?
Yeah, a big motivation. I feel like I think the story is what I said. The 5-all last year I was negative. The 5-all this year was positive, and that was changed the game for me. Obviously last year Luke came out after being 5-all and was unbelievable. The 9 darted, he didn't relent. He deserved to win, but this year I was lucky to be 5-all again, and then managed to come out and actually perform at a decent level. So yeah, I think that was the clear thing that won me the title.
And great to see that respect after battle. You've got huge respect between yourself and Luke.
Yeah, because I love him. I think he's a good kid. He really is. He's a close friend of mine in darts. Obviously when I'm around him, we always speak, we always chat and stuff like that. And he's just a good kid, to be honest. So yeah, it's always nice to share the stage with him. Of course, he'll probably win much more than I'll ever win in my career because he's young and he's a great talent. So yeah, but I'm just happy when I nab one here and there and try and get that to that point where you win as many as you can. But like I said to him on the stage, I said I'm really happy to win this, but I'm sure he'll get me back many times in the future. But of course it was nice to share the stage with him again, and it's just another final in the Luke and Luke saga.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations, Luke.
Thank you.
How nice is it for you to sort of say, remind people I'm world number one?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go and try and win the title for that. I know I'm world number one. That might last for many years, or it might last another 3 or 4 months. No one knows, to be honest. But whether I'm world number one or world number two, I know I can still win titles, and I can still mix it with the best. So yeah, I mean, being world number one is obviously a privilege, but if I don't win the World Championships this year, it doesn't matter what anybody says, I won't be world number one, really, because that's what I'm relying on. I'm depending so much. But if I can go there and win the World Championships, I'll stay number one for a lot longer. So Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, nice being world number one, but winning titles means more to me.
Luke, in the past 2 years you've won so much, but how does this feeling tonight compare to the other moments in your career?
Yeah, I think it rates up there with the top 5. I think for me, the Grand Prix, the World Championships, the Match Play, the World Cup, and this one, the biggest 5, because the World Grand Prix is very special. It started the domino effect for me to keep winning, and then obviously I love the Grand Slam. I love that, and then the Players Championships, of course, but I don't want to discredit them. But yeah, when I won the Worlds, that was definitely up there. The feeling. But this one felt like it was the one that I really wanted to win. And if you keep, it can happen. If you keep losing out every year, it can then start to get hard to win, because then you're searching and you're trying too hard. I said to myself, if I can win that tonight, I'll be really happy. If I don't win it, then you have to be careful not to keep trying too hard to win it, because if you do, you won't win it. So yeah, I'm really happy to have got it done early. Don't forget, my first major title was only 21 months ago, so to create that triple crown, as you say, in such a short space of time, I'm quite happy with it.
Talk about that change in mindset after the break compared to last year. It's easy to forget that you are still so young. How much are you learning still year on year?
Yeah, honestly, I'm learning every week. There's certain things about yourself that you learn a lot about. Sometimes you're in moments where you feel really good, and then you kind of feel like you bottle it, and you feel like, okay, well, why did I feel like that? Why didn't I finish the game off there? And then there's games where you feel a little bit jaded, and then you manage to be really good, and you think, well, I felt rubbish there. How have I played so well? So you learn things all the time, but for me, like you say, I'm still relatively young in the game, and I'm a couple of titles away from being possibly the 3rd most successful dart player. I don't know really, but when you win 10 major titles, I imagine some unseen territory. So I'll keep pushing, keep working hard to make sure that I want to get over the 10, so hopefully I can do it the next couple of years.
Thank you, Luke. Well done tonight.
Thank you, mate.
Hi, Luke.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you had less rest after semi-final. Did that affect your game, and how did you push through?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't affect my game, but I felt a bit tired throughout that first session, because when you have an epic game like I did against Nathan, then you have 20 minutes. It's really tough. It really is. It's hard work. I'm really good at one of my best performances usually on a 1 game a day process. So when you're playing a big game like that, and then you have to do another massive game 20 minutes a day, it is really tough. But I managed to get my energy levels up higher after that first break, and that was when I was at my best.
So you won this title, and how about your next one?
Yeah, I think the next one hopefully is next week in Copenhagen in the Denmark Masters. It's the Copenhagen, I don't know, what's it, Copenhagen?
Nordic Masters.
Nordic Masters, sorry, yeah. So hopefully I can keep the ball rolling and win that one as well. But if it's not, then the big one's the World Cup between all the big nations. Obviously that's the next big one that I really want to win, because I'm hopefully going to guide Luke to World Cup glory.
Thank you.
Luke,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate.
I know you want to keep the advice from Phil under wraps, but I'm just curious to know, is it more geared towards helping you in your own game, or did he slip in a tip or two about how to get the better of the other?
No, it wasn't nothing to do with Luke. It was all about me. Yeah, he's never going to give me advice on how to beat people. He's just going to give me advice about me. It's all about me. He was telling me stuff about myself, about just believing in me, to be honest. And it's nice to have support like that from someone who's, like I said, the greatest in the world, and or was the greatest in the world. So yeah, of course, I would never ever say anything that he's told me specifically, because that's our business. But he's just really supportive and really knowledgeable from my career, and giving me that bit of advice. Thank you, mate.
Luke, congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
You mentioned how you won your first major title not that long ago, and in a few tournaments now you've been the one that's been chased. How, maybe not looking forward to next year already, but how do you think it's going to be now being chased rather than being the one who's chasing the title?
Who's chasing me? I don't understand the question.
So I suppose next year when you're the defending champion. And you're
Oh yeah, I mean, 16 weeks. You're not going to be thinking every week that you're being chased. It's hard work anyway. So I'm not going to be going into the Premier League thinking I'm being chased every week. The different thing about being a Premier League champion is you don't get guaranteed to become back semi-finalist next year. There's no guarantees. I have to go up next year and get in the top 4, because if I'm 5th, no one's going to push me in that 4th spot and go, well, you're defending champions, you can go again. If I wanted to defend the title, I've got to get top 4. But with the standard of play and the way I feel like I should be playing, I should hope next year I am top 4, but who knows? It could be a different format next year. I don't know. No one knows. Only the PC hierarchy know. I just hope that I'm back here next year defending it.
I suppose there's been something about Leeds in the Premier League the last couple of months, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, what do you reckon? I mean, they're not Premier League champions yet, but I'm Premier League champion. So it's been a good couple of weeks. But yeah, of course, Leeds are my team, and I hope that they do really well next season in the Premier League. I don't care where they finish as long as they finish in above 17. So if they're 18th, 19th, 20th, then of course it's going to be disappointment. But yeah, I'm hoping that their Premier League glory is actually staying out next year.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Luke, I asked you yesterday about what you learned from the final last year and how you relaxed a little bit. Did you implement that tonight?
Yeah, I did actually. When I come back from winning that game against Nathan, I sort of took a lot of time out. I didn't actually practice much in between. Once I'd come back, I probably threw about 9-12 darts in the 20 minutes that I actually got, because I feel like you practice. I got there 4 hours before. Did all my practice regime. I've played 17 legs of high quality darts. I don't think me practicing for 20 minutes straight is going to do anything different or help me out anyway than in the final would. So I just didn't really throw much, to be honest. Obviously I did the ball, that was where I really threw the most darts, and yeah, just relaxed a bit more and give myself a bit of time to sit down. And yeah, I mean, I was a bit tired, a bit jaded in that first half, but when I got some energy in me afterwards, I felt a lot better.
And this rivalry between the two Lukes, do you think this is one that we're going to see for 10, 15 years?
Honestly, I hope. I sit and hope that's the case, but I don't know, because the problem is there's always another person that comes around the corner. There could be 5 years' time. There's about 10 players that are as good as me and Luke, and then there's a massive battle between us all. So, I could sit here and say yes, that's the truth, but I don't really know, to be honest. Any one of the players, Michael Van Gerwen, come back with a vengeance and be unbelievable again, and Gezi could start playing unbelievable again. You just don't know, to be honest. So yeah, I'd love to say that in the next 10 years we're going to battle out many finals. We probably will, but there'll probably be a lot of other names in and around involved in with us.
Final question: does tonight sort of cement the fact that you're the one to beat if you're on your game?
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, of course I'm always the one to beat, but so's Luke. I feel like we're both the players to beat. Of course, people know that I'm a player to beat because I've won so many titles and got so many accolades, but I don't see myself higher than Luke, and in that sort of situation. But yeah, sometimes I do believe that I've got that mental strength. I said it I think I said it earlier. I said if I win the title tonight, I know I've won it by mental strength and belief, and I feel like that was the case tonight. I was a little bit. Nathan was in the semi-final taking the game away from me, and I felt like I kept grasping it back. It's easy to feel negative and let it slip away, but then in the final, it's 3-0 down. I could have easily just let that slip away from me, and I managed to give that mental strength to keep me in the game. So I knew that it was going to take me mental strength to win. So yeah, I'm over the moon that I got it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, mate.